Actually, I'll start my first video. Okay, hello. Welcome back.
Bet you never thought you'd see me again.
It's been a hot minute, and that's entirely on me. But we're doing better this year. It's 3 days into the year, 4 days for you, and you're already getting a video. And there'll be another one coming in the week, and hopefully one more the week after. This is my pledge to weekly videos, unless life gets manic. But it shouldn't. Hopefully not. Anyway, Happy New Year. How's your New Year going? How's your Christmas? I don't know if you know, but like there was this big event in TV and streaming where like one of the biggest shows ever came to its end for me on New Year's Day. Because I'm British, so it came out on New Year's Day, thankfully. Would have hated if I had to sit through that drunk. God. I just thought it'd be good to have a little chat about what I thought about season 5, the end of the show, and the finale. Because I was supposed to be doing weekly videos recapping seasons 1 to 4. That fell apart quite quickly. I still think the season 1 video is really good. You should go check that out if you want to see my positive views on something, because so far I've just complained on this channel mainly. Spoilers for where we're headed today, I guess.
Spoilers.
If this is your first time on my channel, I am the film graduate / Ross. I talk about films and TV. I try to be positive.
Yeah, of course.
I've got a lot planned. I've got my 2025 movie wrapped, which will be starting next week. Yes! This week I will also be ranking my Stranger Things seasons from worst to best. But let's just get straight into it. Like, subscribe, all that shenanigans. Give me your views in the comments as well. I'd love to know what you thought about this season, whether it's just me, because when we all watched it, there was about 5 of us watching it in my flat. We all had very similar but mixed across the spectrum views. So I think it is a very, not divisive, but maybe it is divisive. Anyway, I think this has been a very lacklustre final season. I think where they left off season 4, we were kind of like, okay, we're getting straight in. Like season 4 was kind of like, even though it had its own plot, season 4 was laying the grounds for like the epic finale. Start season 5, like a year later, and it's all just been undone.
Okay, so now this is where it gets interesting.
Not for me.
It's kind of like, oh. And then just with that kind of nothing just was really happening. I don't know. I feel like compared to every other season where you have this big mystery, I just didn't really feel like there was a mystery. Like, I guess we had like the Mr. Watson mystery, but I'd seen the set photos. I also just kind of felt like it was very obvious who this was going to be, with it being Vecna. I guess we had like why he needed the kids was the mystery, but even then we're not really given. It's not like a satisfying reveal of why he needs the kids. I don't feel, at least. Like, it's not the same gripping mystery as you have in like season 1, season 2, season 3, or season 4. Like, they are all way better mysteries. And I don't know, I felt like there was no urgency. Like, we're told he needs the kids, but it's not really like we have, like, I don't know. It's not like, it has no urgency compared to even season 4, where like we have the urgency of like, we need to save Max. Like, if Max dies, he wins. Like, don't know. It just felt like, especially for the final season, the stakes were way higher in season 4 than they were here.
Oh, it's not like it was round here.
And I just feel like that's a bit odd. And yeah, just as a whole, like, it just felt very lackluster. Like, there was no momentum, there was no stress on my part, really. I don't know. I remember Volume 1 came out, and I was just very like, okay, that was solid. Had a cool final 10 minutes. I think like the peak was that opening of episode 2, when Holly is getting taken, but like we have like the whole Karen scene, like that bath scene was great. Do kind of wish that someone died in that bit. That would have been good, I guess. Especially considering it doesn't really change any of the characters that endured that by the end of the season, so it's kind of what was the point in keeping them alive. That's a point I will come on to later. It's just no deaths, but that's a topic for in a bit. But yeah, I don't know. And then Volume 2 came out. I watched all 3 and I just kind of felt like I watched nothing. A whole heap of nothing, other than the Max and Holly storyline. Which is then crazy, apparently they weren't going to include the Holly storyline. Which I'm like, well, that was very important. But I don't know, it just felt very underwhelming and lackluster throughout the whole season, and then suddenly you're at the finale, but like there's just so many unexplored threats, even with like, the army. It's the least engaged I've been in the season, and I think it's because the story wasn't telling me why to be engaged. Like, I'm just being told if Vecna wins, it's the end of the world, but it's not really, like, obviously we're told by like Volume 2 they want to combine the two worlds, but we're not really told what that means. We're not, it's like if only they had a scene where one of our main characters is shown what's going to happen in the future, and that makes them actively have a big character moment, I don't know, coming out to their friends and family. And if only we had a scene where the character experiences that and we get to see it too. Instead we're just told.
Well, oh, for goodness sake.
Fantastic. So I just feel, I don't know, it's the least engaged I was, and it shouldn't be because it's the final season. And that kind of just ties into my other issues. I just don't really understand the release strategy that we went for. Like, they tried to tie it in with big events, which I think is a strange one, because I don't know, like if you look at it from the American perspective, they tied it in with Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and New Year's Eve. I mean, thankfully as a Brit, I got it therefore, I mean, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but therefore as a Brit, I just got it on like a random Thursday. Or was it a Wednesday? Don't know, doesn't matter. A random day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day, which was the better format in my opinion, but still, like, Boxing Day is like a day where like people would be with their family. Christmas Day, for us, like, you watch a bit of TV, but you wouldn't watch 3 hours of one show. Like, you'd sit down for the Gavin and Stacey special, the EastEnders, if like your family care about it. Like, that's a risky one in my opinion. But I sat there for about 3 hours and I was like, and then New Year's Day, like, that's a day when like a lot of your audience are quite young people. They're going out. Like, they're going to be in an awful state New Year's Day, and then releasing it on New Year's Eve, they're going to be out. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. And further to that, I think they kind of hindered their own chances of doing the show well, because you build so much anticipation. Like, I'm a firm believer that a weekly release is the best format for anything. A weekly or all at once. I'd rather a weekly, obviously, but like, by making it in these weird 4, 3, 1 chunks, it's just very strange, because I couldn't tell you what really happened in each episode of those batches. It's just one long stretch of an episode, because obviously I'm going to sit down and watch it in one, so I don't want to see a spoiler on Twitter. By chunking it as such, you're building so much anticipation for the next batch. Like, they ended Volume 1 on that cliffhanger of Will, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's the best episode ever.
Well, okay.
Shut up. It is not. Like, admittedly, the last 5 minutes were cool. Will using the powers for the first time, that was cool. But there's no way that episode is anywhere near as good as Dear Billy, anywhere near as good as when Vecna reveals his backstory to Elle in Hawkins Lab. That Massacre of Hawkins Lab episode. There's no way that Season 5, Episode 4 is anywhere near as good as, like, the finale to Season 1, or 2, or 3. Like, fundamentally, just no. Just because something has a good 5 minutes doesn't mean it's the best thing since sliced bread. But obviously, you end on a cliffhanger like that. The hype is then, obviously, the hype's going to build. It's going to build for a month. Whereas if we had a week, the expectations aren't going to escalate. And I feel when you then drop Volume 2, which a lot of people disliked, said it was underwhelming, The Bridge is one of my least favourite episodes, because again, just so boring. It doesn't even capture that intensity of the penultimate episode that Season 4 did with its final scene. Like, that Season 4 felt more finale-like than Season 5. So, like, you make us wait a month, give us kind of nothing, and then one more week. I don't know, I just feel like if we had a week between each one, then expectations wouldn't have been as high as they were, and then we would have then been more satisfied, and then also we wouldn't then be so disappointed in Volume 2 because we wouldn't have waited a month for that.
What is this?
You've made us wait 3 years for this. So the expectations are already very high, and then you're Do you see what I'm getting at? I hope you do. So yeah, let's just get on to the finale, because I don't really feel like there's much to talk about throughout the whole season, other than just some wild decisions. How did Karen get down to that basement and sneak the oxygen canister in? I'm just questioning. Why didn't the Demogorgons hear the radio that was playing running up that hill, and why wouldn't they go to that? If you can't tell, I didn't really like this final season.
Some things never change, do they?
So, was it good or was it underwhelming? For me, it was underwhelming. Just the weakest it's ever been. That's my flatmate blown her nose, if you could hear that.
Some say yes, some say no. I don't know.
I think, just as a finale, as a whole, it was pretty good. No, it was solid. I'd give it a 2.5 out of 5 as that finale episode. I just think so many interesting choices. And I think the main way to sum up this finale is the fact that all I'm seeing on Twitter is this conformity gate theory that we haven't had the real finale.
Excuse me?
All I have to say to that is the Nile is a river in Egypt. Watch me be wrong. Watch this go live and then they release another episode. I just think I've been here before with Doctor Who, with Game of Thrones, with WandaVision. Do you remember when WandaVision ended and everyone was like, no, it's fine, we're going to get another episode. We're getting a secret episode. This isn't the end. No, that's copium. It's just code for it's bad, you need to accept it wasn't what you wanted. And this finale wasn't what I wanted. It was just everything I despise the show, what it's become. And that's not saying I don't like the show still, like I do still love the show, but it's just, did anybody really want to see the Mind Flayer become a massive fuck off big spider and be shot down with an assault rifle and a flamethrower?
My God. What's happening?
Is that what people wanted for the finale? Because for me, I would have happily taken it stays in its shadow form. We have to find a creative, we have like more of a stripped back psychological, we're inside our minds trying to find a way to defeat it from the inside sort of fight than this. And then also, if you are going to go down this action route of we have to fight Godzilla Kaiju Mind Flayer, if you want to go down the epic battle route, make it an epic battle. Where were the Demogorgons? Where were the Demobats? Where were the Demodogs? This is their home ground. And then the fact that writers are like, oh, like he was just, the Mind Flayer and Vecna weren't expecting to be attacked in their home turf, so like, they didn't call upon them and they didn't have them ready.
Respectfully, shut the fuck up for a minute.
This is their home world, first of all. They should just be there anyway. Second of all, wait, what am I trying to say?
End the madness.
Second of all, it takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds to summon them. Like, not even. Use a hive. Like, oh, just fucking stupid. I personally would have rather we just had a simple finale. Go back to the basics of season 1 where we're having to do everything we can to try and defeat this. It's not easy. Give us some risks. It didn't. I was like, cool. The fact it was more difficult for us to defeat the Demogorgon in season 1 than it was to defeat its big top dog boss. And it just doesn't make sense why the Mind Flayer would give up its like impossible to defeat shadow monster form to take a physical, like, the thing in season 3 was hard as arc. Okay, gonna move on.
Thank fuck.
It was solid. Like Vecna's beaten quite easily. I'd say like we see in like episode 4 of this season that bullets can't harm him. He can stop. Like, why is he now defeated by an like? Obviously he's impaled and he's still alive, and Joyce hacks his head off. Fair enough. I agree. Decapitation should probably be enough to kill someone. But like, is that? Like,
That's what? What was there was no finer details? What was that?
I'm now going to go through what I just think are the more annoying things than why I think it's so underwhelming. It's just the amount of inconsistencies and plot holes.
What's the problem now?
The first one, which I've already covered, is the Mind Flayer not using Demogorgons. It's those levels of Daenerys just forgot that there was the Iron Fleet in the sea, and that's why her dragon. Like, no, it's just poor writing. And I think the fact they have this many plot holes and inconsistencies is just more reflective of the poor quality of writing of this season. The next one, which is something I noticed as soon as I released the trailer for the finale, which I did watch, because I hadn't watched any of the trailers for this season, so I wanted to go in blind, but at this point I was like, I need something to get me excited for this finale. So I watched the trailer, and I see that Elle is going into a tank of water in Hawkins' lab in the Upside Down. And I was instantly like, well, hang on a minute, there's never once been water in the Upside Down. Lover's Lake, there was never water in that. Barb's pool, justice for Barb. There was never water in that pool. It's always been a thing, there's never been like water in the Upside Down. There's suddenly just a full tank of water in the Upside Down for plot convenience. And it doesn't even need to be there. Elle didn't even need to be in the Upside Down to do her part. She could have...
She doesn't even go here!
I mean, it made it easier for her then get to the final battle, but like... It's just the writers ignoring their logic. And then on that level, the Mind Flayer not using the Demogorgons, the whole hive mind, the whole vine system in the Upside Down before, like, they write in a rule for when they want it to suit them, and when it doesn't, they just push it to the side and hope that we won't notice. But they're also actively telling us to be paying attention, to be making theories. Like, no one's figured it out. Like, don't tell the audience to be smart, and then don't be smart yourself. Like,
did you see what I did there?
It's a scam.
Defeated with bullets, just actually a bit silly.
Oh no, come on, this is getting silly.
Like, I think it would be way cooler if, like, Elle had to use her powers to, like, rip open the dust form, and they had to, like, ignite it from the inside, and, like, meanwhile half of them getting possessed. This one, just another thing, because they said there'll be no loose ends in the whole show. Who opened the door in season 1 then? Because we've been told that Demogorgons don't have telekinesis abilities. Who unlocked that door? What was that about? I'd like to know personally. Where's this wall been this whole time? You're telling me that little boy Will was running around the Upside Down for over a week and he never once came across this wall? You're telling me in all of the cruise that Hopper's been on exploring the Upside Down, he's never once before discovered this wall? Now it's a wormhole. And then just further to that, how are Russia getting all of this Upside Down shenanigans in Russia if it's only Hawkins that's in the Upside Down? And you expect me to believe you've had this figured out since season 1?
Great script. Great cast.
Please. Just also the fact that the Upside Down just lost all of its aura and risk. Kind of, I think it started in season 4, to be honest. But like, they're just walking around it. They're breathing it. Like, do you remember in season 1 when they're going in hazmat suits, when they sent in that guy with the camera and he came back like it's like a bloody bit of the cave? Like, it used to be a scary place. Where did all of that go? Like, why were there no Demogorgons not roaming about? Why are there no Demobats? Like, they used to, like, that bit in season 4 they couldn't step on the vines because it would alert Vecna. Like, it used to be dangerous, and now it's just dark Hawkins. It's just annoying, like...
This is getting sillier. This is really silly.
I'm nearly done with my complaining.
Yeah, of course.
And I understand that they didn't want to kill people off. I get that, like, they said it's not Game of Thrones, but, like, no. Why were there no deaths? Like, it's just actually beyond ridiculous. Like, there's several times in this series where people should have died. Karen or Ted, for first, would have been a great exit for one of them too. We also have something like Joyce runs at Vecna to try and protect Will after the whole army battle, and after Vecna's actually like just thrown his hand through people's heads, blew them up with fire, he just flings her to the side. That is plot armor, that is convenience. Like, it's annoying.
Oh my God, who the hell is not going to come back?
Steve, like, imagine if before we even properly start this mission, someone dies from just like full damage. Like, it would have been like tough. Like, that's not a way our hero should go. But at the same time, like, this is a dangerous environment. People are at risk. Nancy, she probably should have sacrificed herself to draw. Like, I think it also just softens the blow of how easy it is to defeat the Mind Flayer. Like, if 3 people died in that attack, it would be like, fair enough, they did kill it quite quickly, but it cost 3 of them their lives. It would have made it feel less cheap and less easy of a victory, in my opinion. And then even the 2 people that they did kill off, Callie, I think that was too early in the episode. I think she should have been there for longer to justify her coming back. But I do agree with her coming back this season to warrant the Lost Sister episode existing, but also she was really key for sowing the seeds of Elle's exit, which I'm not against, but it annoys me that the one character that they did kill off, they didn't, because they're too scared to even commit to that they had to give a fan-wanky theory that she could have survived because of these reasons, but like they've already seen videos saying that, well, neither option's possible, and it's like the writers were even too scared to fully commit to that.
But what's the point? Point that. Anyway.
Grow a backbone. The Callie and Elle plan just doesn't really make sense, because how would Callie know when to start that? How would like Elle have still slipped through when she can't even, like, it just doesn't fully add up, and it's just annoying. Like, when you give it a bit of thought, it doesn't make sense, because Callie wouldn't have been able. Also, how was Callie still alive? She was bleeding out for like an hour. It's just fine. And then further along from that, Will in the Hive Mind. This is, I think, what would have actually redeemed this episode, is if, as Joyce finally does something this season.
She was. I don't know who she is. I never knew who she was. I've never seen her before.
As she hacks off Vecna's head, imagine how good it would have been if Will dropped dead to the floor. Because of, like, imagine the Mind Flayer got that final victory over them because of the Hive Mind. Like, I think it would have been a really bittersweet end, and maybe that's why. And then Will could have like had like a dying moment, like, I knew this had to happen. It was the only way. Like, that's why he came out, because he knew he wouldn't get the chance to otherwise. He knew this was the end. Like, it would have been so devastating, but it would have actually like just hit so hard. But no, the Duffer Brothers love these characters too much to ever consider that one of them could die, which is also fine, but like, just no, it's not fine.
No, this is really, really, really stupid.
And like I saw the reply they had about the Game of Thrones comment, and I think they fundamentally just don't understand why Game of Thrones works with its deaths, because I don't think Game of Thrones is just about its bravery to kill off main characters, because it doesn't kill them all off, but what it does do is show that our characters' actions have consequences. And I think that's what really lacks from this season. It's like, no matter what our characters do, they're never gonna risk threat from their actions. And that's just what kind of, I never once felt scared. And like, imagine if when Hopper shot the tank, he did actually kill Elle. Like, her body was dead. As soon as she left the mental space, she would have then been dead. That would have been such a bittersweet end for her character. Hopper would have to deal with that guilt. It's just that I think death is such an easy way to create tension, risk and consequence and development for characters, and the Duffer Brothers don't see it as that, and they just see it as, these are our favourite characters, we'll never hurt them, and it's just annoying. Okay, rambling over, and now onto a positive.
Well done.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
I really, really loved the final scene. Them playing Dungeons and Dragons, them all putting their binders on the shelf, kind of leaving that basement for the last time. The new kids coming in, as these kids are now, I mean, they're obviously like mid-20s, but like now 18, heading off to university. As someone that's grown up with the show, that's watched this show since I was 13, I want to say. Now I'm 22. That really hit, coming out around New Year's, and you're always like reminiscing on getting older, another year passing. That kind of like, our childhood has ended. These kids are now at that point in their life and they're going to be playing this game. Like, I know that there was something so beautiful and not harrowing, but just kind of real about that.
Lovely.
And that did really hit, and the way the kids' themes playing, but like a more emotional, dramatic, like such a good ending scene. And I just wish the rest of the episode had that simplicity and weight to it. And it's that good of an ending scene that it could trick me into thinking this was like an amazing episode. Then yeah, like I think about it and I'm like, well no, it's not. Yeah, I just actually adore that final scene more than like this season deserves. And then that brings on to my final point of, so was it worthy? Was it a worthy conclusion, season 5, this finale?
No!
I don't think so. Spoilers for my next video, I'm going to be ranking the seasons, but I think this is by far the weakest the show's ever been. It lacked so many of its good elements. But yeah, I just don't think this season really lived up to the hype of season 4. It didn't live up to the quality of season 1 or 2. It visually looks the worst it's ever looked. It just feels like... And we waited 3 years for this.
It's not funny.
And it's just kind of like, okay, well, I just feel cheated. And I wanted to love it. I wanted to cry. I wanted to be devastated by it. But I think season 2 and 3 both provide better endings to the show. And I would have been way more satisfied if they ended there, even if it meant we didn't get season 4 or season 3. And it's just kind of sad, because I feel like it shone so well because it was so unique. But then it became the very thing that it was kind of like rivaling at the time, which was like superhero things. And now it's kind of become an example of that. And it's just like, really?
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
So yeah, that's my Strange Things Season 5 thoughts, mainly on the finale. As I said, I will be doing a ranking video in the next week, where I sort of talk about the whole season, well, all 5 seasons where I rank them. But as I said, please drop your thoughts. Please try and tell me why I might be wrong. Why it's actually a really good finale. Because as I said, I did love that one scene. I thought that was really beautiful. But just the rest I was really underwhelmed by. And as I have so many nitpicks and flaws with it that I just feel cheated by these writers that have told me to pay attention. The pregnant women, where are they? Did they all get massacred? Another one. The more I sit down and think, the more issues I have, and that isn't a good thing. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment below what you thought. Stick around for the rest of the year because we've got some fun videos to come, I know, I'm making them. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope I haven't offended anyone's love for Strange Things too much. I do love the show, I promise. I just wish it ended better. But it's not awful. It's not Game of Thrones. It's not the reality war on Doctor Who. It's by far not the worst ending. Just could have been better.